Alright, this is a 19 Jeep Cherokee. We just replaced the power steering control module, which is part of the rack. We're going to just set this up for the body shop. We're going to start with the proxy alignment. So electronic power steering not configured. So we're going to configure both of these modules. Unplug our tool. We're going to wait 2 minutes. Open the door. Alright, so we reconnected our micropod. We're going to go back in. We're going to run the configuration alignment one more time. And now our power steering says configured, so now we can hit cancel. We're going to go inside of our power steering control module now. Here it is. That little lightning bolt indicates there is a flash available. This is just an enhancement. Out of date. We're going to go ahead and just do this for the body shop. Flash. We're going to just log in and then we're going to do this flash. We're going to hit continue. We can go over to view DCCs. Alright, we're on our last step and we need to calibrate the electronic power steering system. It's a learned function. We're having an issue doing so. We're left with a code c0051-54, steering wheel position sensor missing calibration. Now, in order to resolve this code, we have to go to miscellaneous functions, EPS learn. We're just going to straighten our wheel out and watch what happens here. Hit continue. and we get a negative response, 0 times 10. Now this power steering rack was purchased from the dealership. Body shop did the alignment. I take it that they did the alignment correctly, or the repair shop did the alignment, I'm sorry. The body shop put the rack in. It's my job to diagnose this vehicle now, and I think I know what's wrong with this vehicle, but first we're going to go into the data for our power steering control module. And I will say this steering angle sensor is internal to the rack. Now watch what happens when we turn the wheel. We have a steering angle of negative 0.1 degrees. Now as I turn this wheel, we have no movement in our angle sensor parameter. Now initially I thought that there's a possibility that this rack is defective. We have good powers going to it, we have good grounds, the CAN-C circuit is within intact. So all of our inputs going to the rack are there, but we still have no angle parameter. And I believe that the only way we're going to see this angle parameter show is after we complete the power steering learn. And this is a theory. Now there is a bulletin on this. There's a bulletin on this issue. If we have a negative response error code 0 times 10, bulletin says check the intermediate shaft. If you have an intermediate shaft that's bent or off-centered, the vehicle will not be able to learn if our center line is off by more plus or minus 7.5 degrees. So let's just say, for an instance, let's say the power steering control module is capable of understanding our center line or the steering angle. Why is it then we don't have a parameter? This may be how this vehicle is just designed. Maybe they don't want technicians to center the steering wheel or calibrate the steering angle sensor incorrectly. Maybe they're forcing you to make sure everything is nice and straight and there's no bent components, because why would they want to let a technician calibrate the steering angle sensor incorrectly? That can cause issues. It might be a safety concern. So I think this value we're seeing here of the steering angle sensor is because we haven't completed the power steering learn yet. So this is a huge this may indicate that we have a bent steering intermediate shaft or a bent component. I already looked at the eye shaft, and the eye shaft does not appear that much out of position. However, it doesn't look perfect to me. So I'm going to try to fool the computer into the correct position by compensating for the bent eye shaft. Instead of doing the learn with the steering wheel in a straight position, I'm going to go to each side in about 5 degree increments, because I want to stay within the 7.5 degrees every time I retry to center the wheel. I'm just going to keep turning it, and I'm going to just try to find the true center line of that power steering rack, because if this eye shaft is bent, I obviously just can't go off the center line of the steering wheel, because the wheel is connected to the rack with the eye shaft. This is where you got to think outside of the box. This is the steering wheel. This is the position it just took the calibration in. We have a bent intermediate shaft, or we have a bent component. More than likely this is the eye shaft. It just took position. We're going to cycle the ignition off, hit continue. So I'm going to leave it in the off position, hit continue. This is it. What I'm really concerned with, or what I want to know, is what is going to be our steering angle input. Are they going to give us a parameter now that the angle has been learned? So cycle ignition to the run position. I gotta say, I was really close to calling a defective rack on this. And unless you think about these problems, you can easily go down the rabbit's hole. Our calibration completed. So let's see if my theory was correct. We're going to go back into data. Steering angle is now set at 0. Now I guarantee once we start this vehicle and we turn this wheel, we're going to have an active steering angle parameter. Sensor index signal not found. Let's just see. Not active. Alright, let's turn this wheel, and there we go. This is the proof right here. We now have a steering angle. So what do we do at this point? We have to redo this steering angle learn with this steering wheel in a straight ahead position, because if not, we're going to drive this vehicle down the road, and it's going to see that the steering is not centered as we're going straight, and we'll probably flag fault codes, all that other good stuff. So we need to make sure this eye shaft is correct, and I can already tell you it has a slight imperfection in it. So we'll have to correct that first, redo the steering learn with the wheel in a straight position, and we should be good to go from there.